Welcome to Sport Recovery and Development, where we share real stories of our SRD athletes and staff. Some of our athletes come to us after an injury, while others show up and they're totally healthy and they just want to get stronger, faster, more explosive than ever before. The injured athletes, the healthy athletes, they all have the same goal. And today, I'm going to introduce to you one of the most likable athletes we've ever trained in here. He's hilarious. We watched him work hard and add inches to his vertical and his broad jump. He got faster on his sprints. He was faster side to side and in agility. And I can't wait to introduce you to him here in just a second. It's a great success story, so stay with us. Today's guest is one of 9 seniors on the Farmington Cardinals basketball team. They had a great year. They went 32-2, were undefeated in their conference, and made it all the way to the Final Four in the state tournament. Cole Lentz, congratulations on a great year, man. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, man. It's awesome.
It was a great run.
That really was.
I know you guys wanted to end on top, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah, it hurts, losing like that. But overall, it was a really good year.
I'm sure your parents are proud. The whole town's proud of you guys. You did really, really well.
Yeah.
We enjoyed watching you. I only made it to a few games this year because it's been so busy. I'll just go ahead and confess that right now. But it was every one of them. You guys are so fun to watch. It was a fun team. Does it feel weird that it's over? Your senior year's over?
Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely it's hard living with the fact that I'm not gonna see my guys again. I love them. I love them to death. I love my guys. But it is nice knowing that I got place to go next year, and so do a lot of those guys, and we're all gonna go and become really good basketball players. Super stoked about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens next for you. Some of those guys you've probably been playing with for a long time.
Yeah, quite a few years. Some I played against, some I played with. Like me and Carson, we played on the St. Travel Bowl this past summer. We had blast. We just rolling in those circuits. It was really fun.
Yeah. What do you think you'll miss most about your time as a Farmington Cardinal?
Oh man, I'm probably gonna miss the hangouts that we had and going out and eating after practice together. That was really fun.
Team events?
Yeah, little team bonding. That was a lot of fun.
Who was the craziest person on the team?
Carson.
Really?
Carson, no doubt.
So are you sitting close to him usually?
Yeah. I'm sitting probably close to him or close to my buddy Jackson a lot of times. Super awesome people, man.
When you think back through your years, what are your favorite moments or highlights or games, whatever, with the Cardinals?
Probably I had a lot of good shooting nights, but
Yeah.
the Alma one was fun, hitting in those 6 threes. That was a lot of fun because we celebrated. When we made it to the finals my sophomore year, that was so fun.
Yeah.
That was so fun. We just celebrated, and the fact that we got there, we're the first school in history to get there, that was so awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it.
The first class at Farmington to do that.
First class ever for boys basketball.
Incredible. So it's quite a resume you guys have built.
Yeah.
A legacy. Yep.
100%.
It's awesome. Cole, how old were you when you started playing basketball?
6.
6?
6 years old.
Like kindergarten?
Kindergarten.
Yeah.
Kindergarten, I first picked up basketball in my old elementary school. My dad was the head coach for the little boys and girls club.
Of course he would.
That we had, and man, I was not very good.
Were you
I was not very good.
Were you tall?
I was pretty tall. I mean,
So even then, you were one of the tall.
really skinny, tall-ish kind of guy, but I was so bad, man.
What were you bad? What everybody's bad when they've never played before and they're 6 years old.
I mean, I just wasn't very good because there are some kids out there that could, shoot threes and stuff. That wasn't me. I was a layup guy. So I was definitely a layup.
You turned into a 3-point threat. So when did you develop that?
That was my 7th grade year. I got with my first trainer ever, and it my love for the game just exploded. I really, really got to the gym a lot. I started going practicing just about every day. And my dad worked with me a ton, and we worked on my jump shot all the time. and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it. Oh,
Isn't it funny through the years, there are years where you feel like you're neck and neck with your peers, and then you've got the skills gaps that show up. Some shoot before others shoot, and then you've got the gaps in athleticism sometimes that show up where some develop athletically before the others. Everything changes around sixth, seventh, eighth grade a lot of times, as everybody's transition at that age. But did you feel that? Like sometimes you were neck and neck with people and other times you were perceiving a gap?
honestly, 90% of my career, I felt like I was behind,
Really?
behind the gap. Yeah, I was always like, man, I got to do this. I got to do this. So I was constantly in the gym trying to fix this, fix that. I was perfectionist,
Yeah.
some would say, and I mean, it would drive me crazy sometimes thinking that I didn't perform as well as others, and I feel like I'm worse than this guy, and then eventually it started to catch up, and I realized that I'm starting to become pretty good.
What were the things you were observing when you were like, I'm behind? What were they doing that you weren't doing?
I think a lot of them, they all got to play organized basketball a lot more than I did. Like they got to play travel ball way before me. I didn't learn travel ball till very, very late. Till I was about a freshman in high school is when I started playing travel ball. So, like some of my teammates even they played travel ball since they were in kindergarten, since I started playing. And I was like, that's it. I mean, you got years on me, and that's a lot.
Just the experience.
So yeah, it could really add up, and I was very inexperienced.
Yeah, there's a lot of great experience you get from practices, but man, when you're playing games and who you're playing against is changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different beast and a different pressure.
Mm.
Love it.
So you said it was seventh grade when you hired a shooting coach for developing skills.
7th grade, I hired my first real just overall basketball coach. He taught me how to, dribble better, pass, shoot, drive, all of those. He was the one that really started it all for me. And then my dad was my pretty much shooting coach. My dad, pretty good player, and
Yeah, because he played
yeah, he played in at Hendricks. Yeah, in Conway year, 4 years. Yeah, at Conway, and he's pretty good shooter. And
How tall is your dad?
dad's about 6'4".
Okay. How tall are you?
I'm 6'3".
Okay.
The shortest one.
Well, my sister's 6'3".
Yeah.
I'm the shortest one.
I'm the short one in my family.
Not when you're sitting next to me, you're not the short one. I'm used to it though, my whole life. So when you perceived that your teammates or your peers, whatever, they're ahead of you, you're playing catch up, I think is what you said. How did you not get discouraged, or were you discouraged? Tell me about how you arrived at this response that I'm going to work hard to catch them.
Yeah, so I I saw that my peers were better than me, and it frustrated me, to be honest. It was just a motivator. I had just fueled me in the gym more because every time I saw someone better than me, or I thought somebody that could have had an edge on me here or in this position, it just drove me.
Yeah.
It drove me every time.
It was just your own inward and that was internal motivation.
I mean, for me, that's all I needed. Yeah, I just wanted to go.
Because you're a competitive person, 100%. Everything I do. Gotcha. You had the luxury of parents that are believing in you. Like, you want a coach? We'll get you a coach.
Yeah, my parents are super competitive. Like, if I do really well, they're not happy.
Yeah.
So
You want to be happy at all.
I gotta be happy. I gotta play good, so we're all happy.
That's hilarious.
So it all comes together really well.
Cole, before we get into your program here at SRD, I want to talk first a little bit about something we've seen consistently from every Farmington athlete that we've trained in here, and there's been a lot of. Our very first athlete that we started SRD with was a football player and baseball player from Farmington, and it hasn't mattered if they're football players or basketball players. Like, we have a track athlete from Farmington right now. Any athlete we've had from Farmington has been some of our grittiest and like wanting to work, hardworking people. Guys, girls, all of them. What is it about Farmington? How have they instilled that culture in all of it seems like to me, in all of their athletic programs?
Yeah, I think that's just from the town. I mean, the town is awesome. The people,
There's a lot of pride, yeah.
yeah, a lot of pride, especially in the sports because there isn't a ton to do there. It's a pretty small town.
Yep.
Everybody gets together. Everyone goes to football games. I go to all the football games, and
Yeah.
and everyone comes to the games. So it's very, has a very motivated, you know, the sports industry is very motivated in here,
Right.
in this town, and it's so fun, man.
So maybe there's not as many eyes on you in Farmington as in Fayetteville, but all the eyes in Farmington are on you.
Yes.
So everyone feels that.
Yeah, everyone
Like in a bigger town, there's a lot of eyes on you, but they're looking at a lot of other things too. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think the town's just so connected, and I think those kids just love their sports once they get into 'em. Yeah, it's just
Well, we've been blown away by it, man. Just, I have a list of like what I call my psychos. So like every coach, first of all, when you are doing performance coaching as a trainer, everybody has their favorites, and the athletes that want to work really hard and are really, really coachable, that's always everybody's favorites. But every now and then you meet like an absolute psycho, like the Brady Richards from Farmington.
oh, Brady's awesome.
Ethan Kennedy, and Caden was like that back in the day. I could name a bunch of them. I'm not going to name all of them, but they all come in and roll their sleeves up and get after it. Like, set the bar, really. So, and I have some kids like that from other school districts too. I'm just saying, Farmington, man. It's like when I meet like we've got the Schnitt guys in here and their sister too right now. And Mason and Crosby, both those guys, they come in and they outwork just about everybody. It blows me away. So someone comes in, they fill out intake paperwork, and they're like, "We're from the Farmington School District." I'm like, "Put them on my schedule."
Yeah, man. Those kids, I mean, they just set the bar right. A lot of them, they just work. They work so.
And it was true of you also.
Yeah. I mean, we have a volleyball player that's playing Division I. I mean,
That's right.
I mean, they just have some athletes, dude.
I need to get Emmy on this podcast.
Yeah.
I've talked to her about it. She said she's going to do it.
Be good.
Oh, she's got a cool story. Moved here from California.
Wow.
So
She's really good.
she's good. Tatum, I think it was her little sister, was the #1 infielder in softball in California before they moved here.
Wow.
And then they've got 2 younger sisters that are phenoms too.
Oh my gosh.
So little family, yeah. There's they have an 8th grader, and her name's Kennedy. Have you met her yet?
Kennedy.
Yeah, Rakoff, all those Rakoff girls. So they're all amazing. All of them. Dylan's the youngest. Anyway, this isn't going to make it in the podcast because we're telling you rabbit trails. The Rakoffs are awesome. But take us back to, March of 2025. It was like almost a year ago today, almost, when you first walked in here. Okay, so how did you come to SRD? Why did you want to come to SRD right after your junior season ended? How did you find us? Why'd you show up?
So I was training at another place, and I just wasn't getting the results that I thought or that I wanted. And I didn't really know what my results were because they didn't test them a lot. That's what really sold me on you guys is you came in and the testing was thorough.
Yeah.
And I knew everything. Like it was all very organized and I loved it. And then after my first session, I saw so much progress. I was like, wow, like that's really, really good. And it felt really good to see some progress finally. And I just stuck with it. I mean, I was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it,
You did have a lot of success. We're going to get to that in just a minute. When you first showed up, did you hear about it from somebody else?
Yeah, I actually heard about it from my teammates, and then I also saw you guys on Instagram all the time. I'm
Okay.
like, oh,
Because Farmington kids sharing stories.
yeah, I see it all over my Instagram feed. I mean, I'm seeing pictures of these guys, and they're working hard, and then seeing, verticals increase, speeds increase. I'm like, ooh, I want to get on that train.
Man, dude. Well, I'm so glad we posted all that then because we're glad you showed up too. What did you think it was going to be like when you first showed up? Was it what you thought it would be like, or was it different?
I'd say it was a little different. I thought the place was going to be packed full of people.
Yep.
Which I kind of like that it's a little smaller. There's not a bunch of people around. I can really get personal training and
Right. Everything we do is individualized.
and one-on-one. It's not broad. And,
Yeah.
and I like that.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah. I mean, you're right. We assess everything, establish baseline metrics, prioritize what we want to get out of the program. It's very intentional the way we design it collaboratively. And then we work toward those goals and then we retest with clear measurements. You leave with a report. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Yeah, it helps. And I mean, because it's hard. Would you say it's hard?
Oh, it was absolutely hard.
But was it harder than you thought it would be?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was way, way harder than I thought it would be.
So it helps when you see what you've earned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're like in the, I don't know, 5th, 6th session. halfway through a program, maybe a third of the way through a program, and it's just really hard again. Like what we see is like people come in and like trying to get mentally prepared for it sometimes, but after they get the results from the end of the first program, then it's like on.
It's just so like,
It's like I hope it's hard again because I know what I'm earning.
yeah, I achieved something that like I really, really wanted.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as hard looking back as, the goal wasn't as hard to get to as you might have thought it was.
Right. There's just moments. What were those moments for you? You remember any particular moment that was
Man, that bike.
you saw a bike?
Man, that bike. That bike. I couldn't walk.
I remember one with you. Do you remember the day I had you do the drop set with Bulgarian split squats?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yes, I do.
Because we had those eccentric holes in them.
Oh, those were rough, man. My legs were shaking. That was the first time I've ever worked out, and my legs were physically uncontrollably shaking. Yeah, I couldn't stop it.
Because we were working on that muscle endurance with you.
That was new. That was crazy.
Yep. I remember that. I remember the first time I had you on the Vertimax too. I don't know how much I should share about that story and what you said, but it was funny.
That was fun, man. That was so fun.
Who was the hardest coach?
Oh. I'm gonna say you.
You think it was me?
I think it was you. I think you or Adam. Adams is all conditioning, and that's really, you got it hard. Yours were just like so intense all the way through, but you didn't start easy, you didn't end easy.
Right.
It was just consistently hard all the
There's a method to my madness, Cole. Because if you see like poor patterns of movement show up more after you're tired. So I was trying to get to the bottom of stuff quick a lot of times. Now I remember with you when you showed up, so you know how we always establish baseline metrics for body mechanics and how they're moving. And then if we find contraindications, which is a fancy word for problems, like if there's something you're doing with your knee that makes you more prone to injury, we prioritize correcting that before we load you with a bunch of movements that will increase the torque on that joint when it's poor movement.
Yeah.
So with you actually started in a pretty good spot. There was a little bit of asymmetry between your right leg and your left leg, and then your right knee would internally rotate a little bit when you were on that leg by itself. So like we addressed that first. I wanted to see what I had to make you do before that started showing up, which is why it was hard from the start. And then it got corrected with you pretty quick. I remember we started working hard toward your performance goals pretty quickly with you.
Yeah. Yes, we did. That was awesome, dude. Seeing that vertical increase, a big increase too.
It was a big increase. I've got it right here, actually.
We got a pretty big increase there.
So here's your results. Okay. You did 2 programs. You did a back-to-back. So you finished your first program and you were excited about your results and you rolled into another one. Your 40-yard sprint, you were averaging a 4.95, even with those long legs you got there. Okay. And that dropped by over a third of a second, dude. Your average. So your average went from 4.95 to 4.62. Your best rep was a 4.6. Okay.
That's a big drop.
That's a huge speed gain. Your 20-yard went from an average of 2.87 to an average of 2.58. Best rep, 2.56.
It's pretty good.
So that's a really good gain. Your pro agility average went from a 4.40 to a 4.07. Best rep, 4 seconds flat.
I remember that one.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Adam beat me on that one still.
Did he?
Yeah, no.
So he was racing you at that?
No warm up. He beat me no warm up, like 5 quiet.
He's empty, dude.
I like still like a full 10th of a second or something. It was wild, dude.
I love it. I love that he was competing with you in it. All right, well, we need to set up a rematch.
Yeah, we really do. I need my gear.
You're a senior now.
Yeah. You gained 2.5 inches on your vertical, 1.5 inches on your approach vertical. You had gains in every category, including broad jump. So, and here's the thing about tests. Okay, you're going to get stronger in here. You're going to start jumping higher and being faster, side to side faster, linear speed faster. But there's so much that we can't control when it comes to a test day. Like, we know we're getting toward the end of your program, so we pull the volume back, make sure you're a little fresher and prepared for the test day. But we can't always control when a head coach decides, hey, we're squat maxing. It wasn't planned, but we're doing it. And sometimes things like that happen, and we adjust if we have to, maybe push a test day back. Sometimes an athlete gets sick, and it's not their best test day. So you want to have a test day where you can capture the gains that you have. Sometimes you have a good test day that really, really captures it. Sometimes you have an okay test day and you have all these gains, but you didn't capture as much as you could have just because of the way of things felt. You know, you had a really good test day. I don't remember the circumstances surrounding your test days, but you had good test days.
Yeah. I remember my last one was kind of by accident. I was in the middle of a workout and I just kind of jumped into one and I jumped up. I ended up getting a 34-inch vertical.
Yeah.
One of them, which was like a crazy leap. It was like a 4-inch leap from my previous test.
Right.
And then I stopped. I probably could have gotten more. I was like, oh man, I probably should have
Yeah.
done another.
Just on a random day, jump up
Yeah.
4 inches higher. That was exactly. You don't always capture on the test day.
Yeah, man.
You can tell on the court though.
I can't tell the court.
Yeah.
100%.
How did what you earned in here translate to your game? When did it show up?
Dude, I mean, a lot recently, as a bit like this year, uh, I got my first windmill dunk, which was crazy. I can say I can consistently dunk now.
Send me the video of that.
I got you.
Because I'm going to share it. I'm going to overlay it over this interview, but everybody see your windmill dunk. I'll put it right here in between us.
So I got my first windmill. Yeah, I can dunk consistently now. So which before, the only dunk I could do consistently was like a 2-foot one hand, like
Yeah.
and it was like rim grazer kind of.
Yeah. Ball on the edge of your fingers.
Yeah, and I mean now when I go to play pickup, it's like I'm full court coming down and dunking it.
Yeah.
It's like it's pretty effortless for me now, and I love it.
That's good.
So, and I'm way faster now. It's so fun.
What are the biggest lessons you've learned in sports that you'll take with you the rest of your life?
If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. I think that one was pretty true because I've done some very hard workouts and I just want to quit. Yeah, quit and you just gotta do it. No,
Like how to embrace the grind?
you just gotta you're gonna be fine. Just get through it. Yeah, if you get through it, you're gonna love it after.
It's okay when it doesn't come easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think you could take that through life.
100%.
Just I think the work ethic part of sports is something you can carry on forever.
Man, I agree. I love sports because of how many things, like just truths in life you can learn through it.
Yeah.
You find out there's things you can't control, but you also find out what you can control. And what are you going to steward? How are you going to steward those things? You know?
Yeah.
Earlier, you said you noticed that maybe some of your peers, when you're in seventh grade or so, there was a gap between what they were able to do and what you were able to do. There might be some younger athletes that watch this that are feeling that way and seeing the same thing. So what would you say to them? What encouragement would you give to them?
Don't stop. Even if you think you're like the farthest behind the curve. I mean, 7th grade, I was on the end of the bench. I transferred schools heading into my freshman year, and then I started. And yeah, and then just because I worked so hard, and like even if somebody's more athletic than you or more skilled than you now, doesn't mean they will be in a year or in even a few months. In 3 months, you'd be surprised by how much you could do in just 3 months.
Yeah.
So
dig in.
do it
If you want it.
Yeah, if you really want it, you can get it.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's talk about what's next. Okay, so you're done with your high school, college basketball career. You're committed to go to Link, you said, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you
So tell us about that, man.
dude. Oh, Link Academy, man, it's gonna be so fun.
Yeah.
So they're a prep school out of Branson, Missouri. I'm gonna take a gap year, so it's like an extra year of high school, but with no school.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Right.
So we'll be playing JUCOs, and we'll playing other prep schools like IMG and North Arc, the JUCO, and a lot of good competition. Just a really good thing, I think, for freshmen. A really good opportunity for freshmen, like to get recruited.
Yeah.
To higher divisions if they don't like their offers, or if they have none, if they didn't get the exposure, or even the late bloomers like me. I'm a pretty late bloomer. It could be a very good opportunity for those late bloomers to come in and actually get exposure and the teaching and the coaching that they really want.
Yeah.
In terms of basketball.
I'm glad you're talking about it, because I don't think that everybody knows that that's an option,
Yeah, I don't think many people do know that's an option.
but it's really cool what they do.
Yeah,
And there's been some pretty big names that have gone through that prep school.
yeah. Jordan Walsh, Mason Plumlee, Chris Sinnett Jr., Trey Johnson. The list goes on.
Cole Lentz.
Yeah, Cole soon to be, man.
Well, I'm excited because, some of those games I assume will be close to home. I know you're going to travel a lot, but some of them will be in Branson, right?
I know they played one down in Conway this year.
Okay.
They play all over the place. They play in Branson a ton. They play in the Bahamas. We'll go down to Florida and play IMG. Pretty sure they go to Vegas and play a little bit. They'll just they'll move around. They do a lot of tournaments, a lot of stuff like that.
Okay, so I might need to go to Vegas, is what you're telling me?
It's not saying you got to go to Vegas, but if we're around or if you ever got a free weekend, Branson's not that far.
Right. That's right.
It's hour 45 for years, so pretty easy.
What are you looking forward to the most? Let me rephrase that question. What do you hope happens in your college basketball career next? Link, and then what? What are you hoping for?
I mean, I'm hoping for D1. I mean, I think everyone hopes for, the highest form.
Yeah.
Really, really excited because they do have a very good success rate.
Right.
96% success rate or 98% success rate of graduating all the kids that go to college. So 98% of the guys that go there go to some kind of college. And right now, their top GAT team, they have 9 of their 11 players are playing Division I next year.
He's awesome, man.
So very, very, very excited to go there.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, man.
Well, we're rooting for you, man. We're in your corner always. Excited for you and your future. And I want to say thanks for being here, being willing to do this. Get on camera. It's kind of weird. It's kind of awkward. Appreciate you being willing to do it. You're such a cool guy. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Got a student athlete in the family who could use a custom program built just for them? Maybe they want to jump higher, run faster, be more agile, or perhaps they're recovering from an injury and need to come back stronger than ever. If you're in Northwest Arkansas, we've got you covered at Sport Recovery and Development. Head over to srdathlete.com right now, and once you're there, scroll down and click Request an Assessment. Fill in your name and contact info, select Sport Recovery and Development under Services, and then add any details about your athlete's goals or situation. Then hit Submit. Our expert team of performance coaches, made up of physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, and certified personal trainers, can't wait to work one-on-one with your athlete to equip them to dominate. Go to srdathlete.com right now and let's get started. That's srdathlete.com.